the Township to order. We'll rise and have the invocation and pledge to the flag. Remove your hats, please. Thank you, dear Lord, for letting us gather here this afternoon to do the Township's business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the proper directions to get the job done. Thank you for everything we have, Lord, and everything we will have. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We might as well just go around and change it. We'll go around from the right to the left this time instead of left to right. Yes, you're first, dear. Just state your name and what your business is.
Heather Cunningham and the trailer park on Lancaster Road.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like the four of us
Us here for
all
it.
have the same business.
Oh, okay. Well, what can we do for you
Oh,
then?
okay. There's, the trailers back there are dilapidated, falling down. Grass hasn't been cut all summer.
One is completely empty, it's abandoned, there's rodents going in it, cats going in it, the drug dealing that's happening
Right
in
in front of my
plain
house.
view. That is really disturbing and unsettling, and I'm tired of it. And I'd like to know what's gonna be done, because apparently when we call the police, they go, oh, we know.
I've talked to, my name's Rich Moran, I live on Bingo Lane. I've talked to 4 officers. And it's not just a drug dealing, it's the hot rod and the burnouts. It's all
That too.
day, all night.
The dogs,
The dogs, I got dogs on my video camcorder ripping
ripping the
crap
dogs
off
up.
my porch. And the one neighbor's dog just killed another dog that got loose. But my main concern is, we all got kids, and, you know, back when I was there, I know times have changed, but we can't let the kids go to the mailbox by themselves no more. They're doing burnouts so bad that they're ripping the road up, and it's all day, all night, every day, on 2 o'clock in the morning, whenever. There's no respect, and there's no law.
No.
And when we do get in confrontations with them, they know the police, and it's a big joke.
Yep,
Nothing ever done.
They laugh at us.
And every police officer I spoke to, they always say the same thing, well, this is the first I've found out about it. So, I just wanna know, you know,
They
I got a
also-
13-year-old girl that she don't need to be seeing heroin deals right in front of the house, and it is heroin.
Yeah.
And they also owe like several thousands of dollars in back taxes on each one of those trailers too. And for like, since 2008, I think one of them
Yes.
has back taxes from.
Yes.
So, I mean, they're just, they no disregard, they've just disregard for the law altogether.
What kind of taxes are you saying they are? Because
County taxes, they're county taxes.
Well, they only let you go, I believe it's 3 years, and then they put them up for sheriff's sale. Do they?
That's
Well,
right.
who's gonna buy that, first off?
Well,
Right. But yeah.
they have, that's the law, that's what they do, you know.
They do.
On your taxes, I will say that.
Right.
That's what they do. After the 3rd year, then they put it up for sale.
This one here.
Whether
has-
whether anybody buys it or not,
Well, that's the thing, I don't think anybody
we
will
don't
buy it.
know.
But they're still living in it. This one specifically is $4,000 back taxes. This
Well,
one-
when is this for?
This was just printed on August 13th.
No, I mean, is this for this year, or for last year, or the 3rd year?
Second page shows you since 2008. And if it was my house, it'd have been gone by now, I guarantee
If
you.
anybody's
I know
house
that
in this
much.
room would be gone by now, the bank will down at UBI on the street.
Here's another
The
one.
front trailer's been sitting there
over
empty for
1,200.
6 to 8 months, there's nobody in it, there's grass growing up to the windows, township's been notified, nobody comes out, cuts the grass. Animals crawling in the back window. Supposedly Richard's inspection is what we've been told,
As
is
far
supposed
as
to be
the-
taking care of it, but.
As far as these taxes go, you know,
That's the county.
we can't do
Right,
nothing
no, I
about
know,
the
but-
taxes.
But that's just one more thing that they're not
I
complying
realize
with.
that. Yeah. And, maybe, since the police chief's here, maybe he could answer your question about the police and the drug dealing and stuff going over there. You have anything for us on that, chief?
I'm not gonna discuss it at the public meeting, but you're more than welcome to come over to the office afterwards,
Okay.
and I can fill you in on some things.
Okay.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we don't want them to know, the drug dealers say, we don't want them to know what we know.
Just tell them, Jim. It's on TV, tell them.
We're not gonna tell them. We can't discuss that. That's all there is to it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, how far are we?
You go next. I'm with Chuck Arbit. I'm Jim Ironman. He's representing our plan.
All right, and what can we do for you, Chuck?
No, I'm Chuck, but
Yeah,
go ahead.
I
you
know
speak.
who you are.
Well, we have a shooting going in our neighborhood in Chateau Drive, and it needs to stop.
It's another thing on our list, sorry.
It's a residential area. There's a guy that continues to shoot 2-3 times a week, and it's if I wanted to live next to a gun range, I would have moved next to a gun range. This is a residential area. This needs to stop. I would have never, if I don't know the ordinance in this place, I would have never moved to Beaver County. It's totally ridiculous.
Jim lives actually right next
Next to me.
to Mr. Duncan.
You live next
And
to
we-
Yeah.
Yes, right next to him. So we have a petition from everyone on the street. There's also pictures of him shooting in the backyard. There's also a fire safety zone map on how it, you know, we're all about bearing arms, but the thing we're not about is that he is 25, 50 feet, not even, away from the property line. And those pictures are out the living room window of Jim
Yeah, our
Ironman.
house, our yard too.
So, I mean, it's just not right. I mean, we don't care if they bear arms. That's not the issue.
Yeah, we're
here.
hunters, we hunt ourselves.
I mean, the issue here is that really and truly, this is not safe. First off, he's shooting into Jerry Schaefer's property, which Jerry Schaefer is represented by Chuck Garbett here, and, you know, that's private property. We thought that would do it, but obviously not. The cops have come, they were just there Friday, 2 policemen were there on Friday, confronted him, he was shooting in the backyard. Nothing was done, they left, and out of spite, he decided to continue on with this. These are pistols, automatic rifles, semi-automatics. He's shooting into a toilet, into a little metal thing. He's from me to that blue truck out there shooting away from their garden, where her dog and 2 children are.
He's also shooting Sunday too.
So then, he just shot yesterday for another 45 minutes. Once again, we called the police. I said, I don't want you to come out. I know you can't do anything, but I want it to be noted. And also, you know, to have the police note that, yes, he's shooting there and we're aware of it in case one of us do get shot. It's not just gonna be on Duncan who's doing this, you know, and he thinks he can, right in a residential neighborhood, because we don't have an ordinance for anything, but that's why we're here. So, Chuck.
My wife is here.
Oh, also neighbors.
Neighbor. Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, it's my wife Carol. I'm Chuck
I'm here for
Covey.
support.
I'm also a resident. I've again drawn up a proposed ordinance. And I'll be happy to supply the solicitor with any information you need about court decisions which have upheld ordinances of this type. We're not here to interfere with anybody's Second Amendment rights. I have a gun. I belong to Castle Pistol Club. Mr. Duncan is welcome to come with me anytime he wants to. We can get our schedule straight. He can shoot with me. I'll pay his range fee. You know, I just don't want him shooting in Chateau Drive in that area. There's no way it can be done safely. And, you know, we all know it's Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will. Even though I'm sure he's not aiming at anybody. Kids play back there. Our kids, when they were growing up, they played back there. When our grandkids come, they play back in the woods. And it's one of the, you know, it's usually, you know, like a hide and seek game where I'm sure it could be purely accidental. But once somebody gets hurt or once somebody gets killed, it's way, way, way too late. We're trying to prevent a problem before it starts. This at least would give the police the tool that they need to put a stop to this. I don't care if he wants to get down to Wampum Rod and Gun Club, that's fine with me. But, you know, it's just where you do it has to be with common sense. And if, I think maybe all three of you are NRA members. I know, like I said, I belong to Castle Pistol Club. One of the obsessions of most gun groups is firearm safety. And this is just so unsafe that it poses a clear and present danger to our family. I'd urge you to pass that. Thank you.
What do they have with a safety zone for hunting? Is it just hunting you're not allowed to get within?
If you want me to, in conjunction with Mr. Garbett, and he did provide some case law to me since the last time he was here, I can take a look at that if that's what the board wants me to do, as far as, you know, working up an ordinance that addresses this issue.
Or even just shooting into Jerry Schaefer's property, wouldn't that be enough to stop him?
I mean,
No.
that's,
No.
The police said it's not a criminal offense.
well,
So
it's,
there's
yeah, it's a
nothing they can do.
trespass, but, I mean, that, yeah, it would be a trespass. I don't know that that's something that the police department would pursue from a,
It's a tough one to prove if the only thing that's entering Mr. Schaefer's property
or the
is
shells.
bullet.
The bullet, yeah.
We'd have to have proof to prove it.
And if he's shooting into a backstop or something like that, then they probably will say they're not going any further than that, and you have to prove this and that and the other. And-
There's not a backstop. It's
The woods?
the woods.
Well, I
All the
understand
Amish
that
were back there logging.
somebody said he was shooting into, it looked like an old toilet or something.
No, he's not, I mean, he's shooting at a toilet.
Oh.
He's shooting at a, you know, one of
Mountain
those
Dew
target
bottles,
things that
you know.
ding, 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 it goes
Oh,
around and around and
spins.
around. But he's not hitting it every time. Or we
I
hear when he
understand.
hits it.
I understand it.
Takes him through the bad shot,
Yeah,
takes him 20 tries to hit it.
I think what we need to do, as far as I'm concerned, is get some kind of ordinance made up here that we can stop this.
Okay, I mean, I'm more than happy to take a look at it and get something for you guys to take a look at.
We can't afford to wait until somebody gets shot, you know, to do anything. So,
And Jerry Schaefer's also going to, after he's done doing the timber and the logging, he's going to make walking paths for the community. That's his objective. So you're gonna have a lot more people up there soon. And, you know they can go there for a walk. How's he gonna know if someone's there?
We all hope he doesn't do that.
That's just a,
you had your hand up?
I do. Is that
Go on.
proposal something that we can hear?
Pardon?
Is the proposal something that we can hear?
Any ordinance that would be drafted would have to be advertised and made available here at the township building.
I mean, I understand the problems they're having, but I don't want it to affect the rest of us that do shoot safely and have the,
And the very
Ability
first
to do
clause
it.
in the very first sentence says, except in cases of self-defense. So, I mean.
I don't even mean self-defense, I mean.
No, but obviously, we're looking at this trying to look at it from the broad view, trying to protect the rights of the citizenry to bear arms, at the same time respecting the rights of others not to be injured by somebody's recklessness.
I mean, I get that, but, and I know your neighbor up on top of the hill, right? Close enough where you guys are that you could hear him shooting all day long. He could shoot in his backyard safely and not be anywhere near anybody else.
Well, yeah, you're talking about Dr. Dixon.
Yes,
Yeah.
or the one up above you on the left, but that's what I'm saying is, I just don't wanna see something that affects people that are doing it
Well-
the correct way and the right way.
We can try
Yeah,
to work.
I mean, it can be crafted in such a way so as to address, I think, the safety and nuisance concerns that the folks in your plan have versus if you're in a
Rural
less,
area.
yeah,
Well, I
a
live in the
less
same- I live in the
residential.
same plan, just not on their street, so.
Last month, when I brought this same issue up, Mr. Norton, you commented that perhaps, you didn't say specifically, that all of these would be looked at on a case-by-case basis, but you know, what this sounds like is that this will be township-wide, same ordinance, uniformity, everything else. I target practice as well behind my house, and it's within, you know, certain distance from other properties. I don't do it all day, all night, but I wouldn't want, you know, whatever is happening there to affect me. You know, I live out in, you know, AR zoned, so, you know, I'd have, you know,
Well,
concerns as well.
we're gonna take a look at this and see if we can get some kind of ordinance or something about this. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to add on that. I brought the same thing up a while ago. I live in Pine Hill Estates, and we have a neighbor up on the hill, Smiley, and it's like Fallujah sometimes up there. I mean, I'm an avid shooter. I have hundreds of guns. And I understand his point, and I'm the same way, but, you know, I have an 11-year-old, and, you know, I have some dogs, and neighbors have little kids, and, you know, when all hell breaks out up there, I mean, it's scary. I'm not lying to you. I mean, when they start shooting, and it's almost like automatic fire, you know, and I love guns. I was in the military, you know what I mean? But there's a place to shoot and a place not to shoot. And the other part of that is, I know what you're saying, but you have to look at the, you know, the drawback to that, the psychological effect of that. You know, when you got like little kids out playing in the yard, and, you know, you hear like, you know, that gunfire go off, and I called the police a couple of times at my house. I didn't have them come in, and we stood out on my back deck and we waited and went up, and you know, it was Smiley at the top of the hill, and, you know, the response was, you're okay down here, because he's shooting facing Zilly Road, you know what I mean? You know, into, you know, the woods and a backstop there. But, you know, I'm a shooter, and I've been in the military. I've seen ricochets happen all over the place. I've shot at the gun range and heard, you know, bullet whiz past my head, you know? Anything can happen, you know, and it's really not worth the effort. And I know what you're saying. I mean, if I have a farm, you know, I'm shooting 500 yards down, you know, into the woods, and there's a mountain behind it, that's different than when you're shooting in a plan where, you know, the longest stretch of woods is maybe a couple hundred yards. I mean, it can get really dangerous. And when you're shooting with, you know, an AR or a high-powered rifle, you know what I mean, a pistol maybe not like a, you know, but some of the stuff that they're shooting.
Let's see what kind of an ordinance we can get up to on this. All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Did we get, are we up? Yes, sir.
My name's Pete Stum. I'm here again, as I've been for years, about the nuisances violations at 368 Dutch Road. You know, the continued, you know, the encroachment on my property, the trespassing on my property to apparently mow the lawn, stack sticks up, even killed weeds beyond the property line. I don't know if there's some sort of trespassing thing we can do at this point to keep this individual off my property. I know that that the township's pursuing the nuisance violations, and I appreciate that. I'm here because I'm extremely frustrated. It's taken an extremely long time to get any action on the multiple violations at this property. It's a junkyard, and it's spread into my yard, and it won't stop.
Can we do anything on this, or is this a
We are,
civil
I
matter?
mean, we are through the nuisance process.
All right.
I think you were looking over to Chief Harkins when you were
Yeah, there's some,
suggesting the trespass.
I read in the minutes that people were complaining about trespassing on the property, and I am here to complain that he's trespassing on my property. I have pictures and everything. It just won't stay off, it won't, even though we've gone to court and it's filed that property line is what it is. This individual continues to go on there. I believe they also have several unsafe structures on their building, on their property, and I don't know, I guess I'm really here to say I'm upset it's taking so long, and if there is anything we can do about the persistent trespassing of my property.
It's in the hands of the magistrate's office, but unfortunately the magistrate's got some medical problems he's dealing with, and it's been postponed a few times.
Yeah.
I appreciate your efforts. I do.
I appreciate it. I understand.
Okay. Mr. Hummel, do you have anything for us?
We was talking about that flooding down on Circle, the pipe's clear.
Pipes open, and on the upper side of the road there, the road crew was gonna try to open that ditch up more to keep the water from crossing the road. Get it to go down both, off that curve up there.
Yeah, we know what we have to do there, and it's on the menu.
Yeah.
We just haven't got to it yet, but we know what we have to do. There's one pipe that's plugged up there, and
The one resident needs to put a pipe under
yeah,
his
he
driveway.
needs to put a new pipe there, and then we're gonna, that already has been worked on some this year, but we're gonna have to do more.
Yeah, Mike
Probably
was-
deeper,
Yeah,
Try-
road crew was
try to-
waiting till the one resident got his pipe in under his driveway so they could cut the ditch open more in
Right.
there. Hopefully that'll
That's,
help cure it, but what do you do when you're getting rains like we've been getting, and
sometimes you can't do nothing about it.
That's right.
Building arc.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're up to Joe.
Wow. I'll let Mr. Tam speak on my
We're
behalf.
here with the understanding that you're considering approval of the Zallo Plan number 3 today and the takeover of White Pine Drive.
Now, did we, where has she been, right? We were waiting on, what was it?
We were waiting on the plan, and Mr. Hummel reviewed it. He said everything was to what he wanted, and then I know you guys were doing just the.
Correct, and obviously, there's not a resolution, I just found out this afternoon that the plan was submitted. We need to, by resolution, put together the actual official adoption of the road. That hasn't happened. And what else hasn't happened is we still have to finalize the stormwater management agreement. And that's been exchanged between council. This morning, Attorney Loke just forwarded to me a
Yes, I was
revised
copied on that,
homeowners association. And, I'd like to talk to Bill about those things. It's my understanding that the plan itself isn't an issue. I think Bill looked at the plan and is satisfied with the plan.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting those agreements in place. Once we get those agreements in place, I would recommend that we, at the same time, adopt the road when we approve the subdivision. I mean, if you want to approve the subdivision first, that's fine. But I mean, there still need to be a few i's dotted and t's crossed. And it's not on your end at this point in time, it's
Well,
just.
if I may, the homeowner association agreement, Township's not party to that.
Yeah, but the township, but that was a requirement to us adopting the road, is that there's a homeowners association agreement in place that obligates all the owners within that lot to contribute to the maintenance, repair, whatever it is, the construction of the stormwater management facilities on White Pine Drive. We need to see that. And I also need the stormwater maintenance agreement executed. And I suspect these issues aren't going to be issues, but they need to be in place before the township adopts the road, from my perspective.
Could they?
I have no problem if you guys.
Could they adopt a contingent on that?
I mean, the resolution hasn't even been put together at this point in time. I mean.
It's only been a couple, 3 months.
Well, and this plan's only been, I don't know when this plan was submitted,
I think it was submitted before the last meeting.
Before the
and
last meeting.
Mr. Hummel didn't have time to look at it at the
before
last meeting.
I mean, I have no problem with the township
I'll get right to that.
on a contingent, go ahead.
As part of that, even waiting 12 years, each month we think we're gonna have. And is there something that we can make a motion that contingent on X, Y, Z, whatever you want, the plan will be approved, so you can start to sleep at night, that's all. That's all we're asking.
I have no problem with the subdivision plan being approved, contingent upon the execution of the stormwater management agreement and the recording of the homeowners association rules and regulations. That's not an issue. I'll have a resolution prepared next week for the adoption of the road, assuming those two matters are taken care of.
I mean,
And then they can
I'm just
sign
putting
it. Yeah,
myself
no,
in his
so you,
shoes.
well, we don't need you to come back. Yeah, I guess, but, there's probably not gonna be a lot of maintenance between September and October. I mean,
Well,
we're
you
not
need
gonna.
this to sell your lots, do you not?
I like to see it done.
Yeah, well, you just wanna see it. I get it. But, I mean, again, I wouldn't approve it tonight. That's my recommendation, okay? Only because those two things aren't in place. I'm not trying to be an obstacle to this, but we need those, I want those agreements in place, and as we've always maintained, contingent upon X, Y, Z occurring, we'll adopt the road and approve the final subdivision plan. That has not happened yet, and that's nobody's fault. It just hasn't happened yet.
What's it gonna take to finish this?
I'll need to see a homeowners association. It's established and created the rules and regulations that I saw this morning.
That's what I'm saying.
And again, understand, I just emailed that to Bill Hummel to take a look at, and that was this morning. So immediately upon receiving that from Attorney Loeb, I forwarded it. From my perspective, the revisions that were made, I did not see an issue. The only difference was he accepted the stormwater facilities that the township will take over that are within the road right away. That's the only issue that I see, but it still needs to be signed and recorded. And then the other issue is the stormwater management agreement. And the stormwater management agreement, I believe, simply needs executed at this point in time. So if those things happen, I mean, I have no problem with the supervisors, approving and signing the Mylar and allowing Joe to get it recorded.
We're in a little bit of a catch-22, because I could see a homeowner saying, because they've been in limbo for many years, being able to sell their house on property. I could see a homeowner saying, I'm not signing the homeowner's agreement till the plan's approved.
Well, I mean, but that's not what we proposed or agreed to. I mean.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to be difficult.
No.
I've tried to move
I'm not
this
saying
along,
that.
but we need to see that. And I mean, because
Well, I guess-
we want to make sure that there is some type of mechanism that the water facilities, specifically the retention pond there,
Right.
that if it slides, and that's a concern of our township engineer, that there's a mechanism in place that there's
Right,
some form of
right.
financial security to
Maybe-
address the
Maybe all
maintenance.
we want to hear today is that if these things are done, the road's going to be taken over.
Yeah, absolutely,
Plan.
absolutely.
Okay, that's all
Yeah,
we
I
can
mean,
ask for.
that's, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was
That's
clear
our
on that.
plan.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's
Yeah,
on
that's our
record.
plan.
Yeah, it's on.
Shannon, write
Write it
that down,
down. It's
Shannon.
on video.
Yeah, it'll be,
I would've felt a lot better if they signed them all.
well, they're not gonna sign the Mylar. I mean, that's
No,
my
we-
recommendation, that you
Talking
don't
about
sign the
this.
Mylar today until those things
Yeah,
are
we got,
taken care of.
we have after approval of the plan, we
Correct.
have 90 days to sign it.
They'll sign, it could perhaps, we get those things addressed in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
It could be, I mean, if there's a motion on the table to, conditionally approve it based upon the stormwater management agreement and the,
That's what we'd like to hear. today.
and the rules and regulations of White Pine Drive being executed and recorded, then I have no problem with that. Because those are the two
I would
remaining
make a
issues.
motion to approve it pending on.
Okay?
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So carried.
And that way you don't have to come back next month either.
We just need to know when we can go and have a drink. We're gonna have
Yeah,
a couple
we're
drinks.
gonna do that on White Pine Drive.
You okay?
Are you keeping this here now?
Huh?
Are you leaving?
Is that the original Mylar? Because we don't have the original Mylar.
No, we're not gonna ask you to sign that.
Yeah, but if you wanna get the original Mylar here,
Yeah, and because Kevin said he'll sign.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and there's no particular orders, I understand it. The last one to touch this is gonna be county planning, and then it gets recorded.
Okay.
So whether who signs first really doesn't matter. My suggestion was we start to get the homeowners to sign it.
Okay.
And bring it back to you. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yep.
Okay, I think we're done.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a drink no matter what. Are you with the TV? Is this gonna be on TV tonight?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a drink. I'm only gonna have one. Thanks.
I guess we're up to you, love.
Pat Wilson, I live in Ada Drive. We've got McGuire Memorial behind us.
Thank you.
We'll see you, Jack.
Still having issues with considerable noise at inappropriate times, and it's been going on now since they opened up back in March. It got much worse when I witnessed an individual falling out of one of their vehicles and called them, and no one was answering the phone. And I was put forth to someone else. Finally, I said, do I need to call the police, because I think that individual was hurt, and all they did was pick her up and take her inside. And at that point, I got a phone call from the director of risk management, and it got ugly. And I have had substantial noise ever since. I believe Richardson inspection came out. They did not come down to our property. They did not stay long enough. The noise really starts in the morning, anywhere from 6:45, and it goes on until about 10:15. Because what's happening is these vehicles are coming in, they're using their backup beepers, which was not supposed to happen. We were told by the director that's up there that the way they were parking the vehicles, and it's not just the vans, we were supposed to have approximately 19 vans. It's vans, buses. The buses have very big doors. They're not shutting the doors of these vehicles. They are slamming them now because I made someone angry, because I guess I was just not supposed to look, and they were very upset about it. So we have backup beepers, we have that, and we also have, and it's awful to listen to, the clients, the patients, they call them clients, are screaming, some of them. It went on one day for 11 minutes. It was horrible, and you don't know what's wrong. And I can't put my dogs outside. I used to play with them in the mornings. I always had a flower garden. I always had a vegetable garden. You go out in the morning and you water these things. You sit at a table and you have your cup of coffee. I'm retired. My husband's about to retire. We have more people in the neighborhood retiring. We're not going places. This is what we do now. This is our home. And we're literally feet from all of this happening. And I just wanted to know if anyone can come and listen, because there are many more vehicles than there were supposed to be. The movement is all day. It was supposed to be from 9 to 3. And the staff was supposed to come at 8:15, not at 6:45. So, two of the vehicles that are closest to us that are staffed are pickup trucks, and you know how loud those are when you shut a door. And that's happening at a few minutes after 7 in the morning. And that's the way we wake up now. And then all of this other is just going on all day, because once the 10:15 happens, it'll be quiet for a little while. But then they come back again, because what they're doing is they're bringing these clients in within just a short period of time. They're reloading, taking them out, bringing them back, and then taking them out again somewhere around 3 o'clock. And this happens 5 days a week. Trust me, we are so grateful when Friday at 5 comes, and just absolutely are stressed out waiting for Monday morning to come, because it is nonstop. And you don't know from one day to the next what it's going to be, whether you're going to hear people screaming that they're help, 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 no, no, no. And what our situation is, why are they not unloading and loading at the door instead of in the parking lot, which leads the ability for falls? Because we were understood that everyone was going to have to be in a wheelchair, that there weren't going to be there are walkers. And the walkers are going the length of the parking lot to get in. And if you're pushing a wheelchair and having someone walk, what happens when that person drops down to the ground? Or in my case, what I saw was someone actually fall out of a bus. And Richardson was there for a short period of time, as I said, did not go down into our yard, didn't get it from our perspective at all. I actually sat today when I should have been at the hospital for my mother, which, by the way, I am going to now be taking care of my mother full-time. She is not going to be able to get out of bed. She will be in bed all the time, and that's going to be my situation. I don't want her hearing this all the time either. My mother wears a brace. Her brace failed on her last week. She has been in the hospital now for a week and now is unable to get out of bed on her own. I'm the only one in the family that can take care of her because I am the only one retired at this point. So I will now have her, the bedroom will be right up against the window, the back of our house. Our house is very close to the property line. It's on, and everything is on a hill. So McGuire is sitting way up above us and it just comes down in. By the way, we've had an issue with the garbage truck. It will be great for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and then it starts coming again at like 3:30, between 3:30 and 4 in the morning, twice a week. And I don't know if an ordinance was ever passed for that or not. But
Maybe they'll have you take your garbage to the end of the road to Mercer, and they could pick it up out there, and then you wouldn't have the truck noise.
Well, that would be McGuire doing that, but they've got a dumpster. See, that's what the situation is. They're actually they're in a home, it's a homeowners association. They've literally bought surrounding homes. They're surrounded by homes. And I call Valley and they'll say, well, we've got a new driver. And we'll go weeks with them doing this. And it's hard. It's very hard. It's in the middle of the night, wakes you up and you don't get to go back to sleep again. So, that's one more issue. I mean, you get to some of the nitpicky stuff. Hey, they don't mow up to the property line. They put in some trees that are now dead, and they just sit there. They have bagworms on them, which is going to destroy our landscaping if they don't do something with it. So these are just some of the issues. And I'm just wondering if there's something that someone can do. I've actually called the police on nuisance. One morning, it was about 8:05 last week, I think it was. One of the drivers came in, radio blaring. 8 o'clock in the morning, why? Radio blaring, and then they're screaming. The staff person is actually screaming over the radio to the client as they're getting them out. And the client, of course, is all riled up. But what's interesting is they're supposed to sit there all day. Those buses are not supposed to move all day, but they do. They're coming in and out. And interestingly enough, when they come back in the afternoon and unload and reload, it's much quieter than that 8 o'clock, especially 8 to 9 in the morning.
We had our person in charge of that to go down there several times, not just once, several times.
2 Thursdays.
Even took a meter that tells how loud things are and that one thing and another. And everything was passing. I mean, it wasn't so loud that it wouldn't do it. So apparently, there's nothing we can do about the noise level there. As far as the backup alarms, I do believe that this is the law and you have to have them on there. I don't think they'll ever stop using. When one of those things start backing up, an ambulance or whatever it might be, them alarms go off.
We were told the way they were parking, and because I even asked when they first started to come in, and it was the banging was loud with the buses, and this is much before the buses that they've got now. They have substantially more vehicles. They also have drop-offs. There were supposed to be 19 vehicles. No one here even realizes how many people are there and how many vehicles are coming and going, because that's what they're doing. They're not staying. There is so much more traffic. I get people all the time telling me, why is it that they're always on the road? Good question. One of my neighbors put in a camera so that when someone comes to his door, it'll record on his laptop. And he said to me, gosh, there are people coming and going all day long. What's the deal with this? Aren't they supposed to sit still?
I don't know their business, but this is their business and they apparently are within the law and we can't do anything about it.
Well, there were some findings whenever it all was set up. And the rules were that they were supposed to, hours of operation, 9 to 3, buses come in, unload, they sit there all day.
Mr. Richardson's inspection was done with the specific findings of the zoning hearing board in mind. And it was his determination that there was not a violation of the zoning ordinance and/or the decisions of the zoning hearing board.
That is correct.
But he left early. He didn't come when he was.
Again, it
He's
was
been
his.
there several times.
He came on 2 Thursdays, is what I found in the letter, was what Shannon sent me the letter.
I think what the supervisors are indicating is that they're satisfied with the findings of Mr. Richardson and that there isn't a violation of the zoning ordinance. So from their perspective, I think the case is where the matter's
That is
closed.
How are they allowed, whenever they were doing the findings, and you've got it in writing here from the township, how is it that they're allowed to move the vehicles when they were supposed to sit all day?
You guys don't have to answer these questions. This is public comment. You've stated already that we sent our code enforcement officer out there, our zoning officer specifically, and he found that there was no violation of the zoning ordinance and/or specifically the conditions placed upon the use of the property at the time of the zoning hearing. It's.
He wasn't in, he didn't come down in our yard.
Jim,
He
we
didn't
can move
come
on.
right- he
Jim,
didn't come
you can
all-
move on.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you have used up more than your 3 minutes, but I allowed that for Jim. But that's the way it's gonna be, I guess. Mr. Spiker.
Yeah, Mike Spiker, here to ask the board if that bucket truck's legal for the road. I've seen it at one of the Township Road Department guys' houses.
As a matter of fact, it is legal. We have insurance and we have plate for it.
It was not
Is it
legal
boom inspected?
when it left here.
Well, I don't know about
Boom
that,
certified?
but it is now. I know
Boom
that.
certified?
Pardon?
I seen a guy in the boom. Is that boom been certified?
I would have no clue whether it is or
Well,
not. I do not know that.
Another-
Cannot answer that for you.
Why would a employee take that truck home for personal use?
Well,
Sitting there, or was somebody using it? Because if-
we knew he was gonna use it.
Well, if somebody's using it, why can't I borrow something? I'm a taxpayer.
Yes, you
Why
are.
can't anybody else in this room borrow a
can
piece of
use it.
township equipment?
Yes, you are.
I
We
didn't
don't
think
do
that
that.
was
We don't
permitted,
do
that
that,
you
man.
use the township equipment for personal use. So how do you?
Well,
do
Gotta
that?
stop. That's a liability on the township.
It is.
Yeah.
You let one use it, you gotta let everybody else use it.
Well,
I'd like to use the boom mower for the weekend.
Me too.
it is stopped right now. It's not moving. It's staying where it's at until,
I don't wanna see, a piece of township equipment at somebody's residence doing work outside of work hours.
okay.
And we're all taxpayers here.
Like I said, it's stopped. It's not doing it anymore and it's right there.
Just
In fact, we haven't even brought it back in until we were waiting for the plate to come. It is
I just
not
wanna
our
know-
fault. It
I
is
also
the
wanna know
state's
boom safe.
fault that we haven't got it yet.
It should have never
Twice.
went on the road, is what we're saying. It should have never left here with a plate, no inspection. Should have
So,
never happened.
well, that's where it is to date.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Gary Cunningham, I'm with the group on Lancaster Road about the trailer court. Everybody over here is speaking about ordinances you're gonna make up, you're gonna put into effect, but there's already one in effect that I've read about the grass needing cut over 3 inches. There's a trailer back there that has been empty for 6 to 8 months. The very front one, as soon as you drive down Lancaster Road, the very first one, the grass is up to the windows.
That must have been what he was there about today, huh?
So there's an ordinance in the,
I think,
that I've
yeah,
read.
we should
that
send
has-
out notice letters and take care of that.
It's been like
The township's
that.
supposed to
Don't you do a trailer park inspection, you and Mike Boots?
Once a year we do it.
When do you do that?
It's on here, actually.
Was it done?
No, it's
Did
on
they-
here to do.
Or you're not supposed to cut the grass after so long when they don't cut it? Because it's not been cut all summer long.
it's a
It's not
mess.
cut. It's 3 feet high right now. I have a 4-year-old that plays, there's rats and shit there. Something needs done. If I don't cut my grass for all summer long, you guys are gonna be there and take my house. Like she said, people got taxes back there. They're not paid. I don't pay the taxes on my place, you come take my house because it's worth something.
Yeah.
At least you guys can get out there and cut the grass.
Well,
It's 3 feet
we
high. Send
did
somebody
not
out,
have
wanna
any.
borrow my mower, I got a mower right across the street, you can use it. I got a weed eater. If you ain't got the shit to do it. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Please watch your language, this is a public meeting. I
Okay, I
appreciate you
apologize.
being upset, but that's
I apologize
twice.
that we have called and we've talked, and nothing's been done all summer long, and now it's almost October, and it's still 3 feet high.
I mean, my recommendation is to
I mean,
pursue.
Richardson's been out and he sent notices to that. the
Well,
guy
it's
that
probably,
owns it.
yeah, then maybe the next step is that there be citations filed with,
Well, they got trailers sitting out front. I
With
ought
the
to be
district
condemned.
magistrate.
Exactly. Now,
Yes.
somebody
They
said
all
they
should
should
be
have been
condemned
6 to
and
8
moved
months.
out of there. It's a
Yeah.
mess.
I have,
No, it's the one
No,
beside it.
it's the one
But
beside
there were
it.
children going to be renting that
Oh,
recently, and that's not safe for kids.
Isn't there an ordinance that says if they don't cut it for so long, you guys are supposed to cut it?
they may at their discretion cut it and then
What's-
perhaps lien the property. But usually we go through the code enforcement office to address that.
and try to get it mowed.
And that's been done, that I know of, they've been sent 2 letters already and nothing is.
Well, maybe the next step is pursuing it
Well,
with the district magistrate.
affected, probably the owner of the place isn't around anymore.
The owner of the
Apparently.
trailer? Yeah, I'm
Apparently.
not sure if the owner of that trailer, but the owner of the
He
trailer.
was out here today, the owner was out here at the trailer park today, and he was
How is
trying
he-
to get some information.
How's
What?
he able to drive? 'Cause did he not just get his second DUI here long ago, or read it in the paper?
I have no clue.
Or is he driving without a driver's license?
I don't know if he has a driver's license or not, that's not my business.
I was just asking, I mean.
I'd just be careful saying those things at a public meeting where it's being taped
Yes.
as well, so.
Well, when we say it's private, nothing happens.
Well, I'm talking about referencing an individual having 2 DUIs and whether or not he's committing a crime, because that is,
Can make you liable.
it's very close to being, towing that line of slander, so. Just, that's for your sake, not because, I mean, you can say those, you can get your point across without getting personal.
Okay.
And you did.
And
You
already
Yeah,
with
but
it.
still, my thing is the drug dealing, but they're also the hot rodding. It's all hours, like that one lady is commenting about the noise, but the gun shooting and all that.
Do they live there? Is that
Yes.
who's doing
Yeah.
it?
I mean, we hear gunshots and it's just not, it's people target shooting. It's any hour of the day and night. And they'll go out and empty a clip, 2 clips of an AR, and an hour later do it, all hours. But the thing too is the hot rod and them, they're chewing the road up. I got a picture on my phone where they backed up to my property edge and they all do burnouts and they took a chunk out of the road.
Well, that should be,
I mean, I got a camera pointed on, I talked to a police officer 2 days ago and he advised me to point one of my cameras on the road.
let's see what he can come up with for you.
Yeah.
That's the best we can do for you.
But there's a certain few, and I'll talk to the chief after this, few vehicles that are doing, they do it every time they come in and leave. And
All right.
I'll talk to that off record.
Okey-doke. Did you gentlemen get a chance to read the minutes of the previous meeting? I know you weren't here, were you?
No, it
I
wasn't
read
there.
them, they looked all right to me. He said he, no. Yeah, did you get to read them?
Yeah.
You wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve minutes of the last meeting.
I'll second the motion. All those in favor say aye. All right, correspondence. See what we got here. The notice from PennDOT that they're gonna be working on Soap Run Road stream down there. Stabilization notice. And Beaver County Conservation District. FDMA sewer extension erosion and sediment control plan review. We have the News Weekly Police Department, possible interest in sharing and contracting of regional police services. I think, personally, I think that's too far away for us. I haven't even discussed that with with the police here or what.
25 minutes.
It's too far.
It's just too far away for us. And Ms. Wilson was already here and taken care of. Anything from the planning commission?
They didn't have a meeting.
We didn't meet.
They didn't have their meeting? All right, then we've discussed Mr. Hummel's statements and business. We'll be talking to your dad as soon as he gets on his feet again from his sickness there. All right. Solicitor's report, do you have anything for us?
Just what we discussed today, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at drafting, putting together an ordinance with respect to the shooting of guns. I'll go ahead and take care of what needs to be taken care of with respect to White Pine Drive, including getting that resolution together. I don't foresee there being any issues.
I think
because Attorney Loeb and I have been exchanging emails, and essentially what they've prepared satisfies me, and I think it satisfies Bill as well. And what we've prepared by way of a stormwater management agreement, and I did that in conjunction with Mr. Hummel. I don't see there being any pushback from Mr. Loeb and or Mr. Zala or his engineer, Ed Tanner. Is there anything else you'd like me to look into?
Well, we got this sand dumped here from the sandblast shop. We talked about this in the March meeting. I thought we decided not to do that anymore. It's being tested. If it comes back toxic, we're gonna have to pay to get rid of it.
I've already spoken to the owner of the sand, and it wouldn't be no charge just for him to come and get it and move it.
All right.
If it
I don't
doesn't-
think, I thought we decided in March that we weren't gonna do this anymore, but
Well, as long as it's not toxic or nothing.
we didn't know that.
Well, we still don't know that.
No.
And so until we know that,
Right.
we're not doing anything with
I
it.
wouldn't use it,
It's just
right.
sitting there. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend using it.
It's not being used. I've already informed the road crew that we don't touch that now until we find out. So that's where we are with that. That's all we have for us, sir?
Just, that's it, unless there's
All right.
something you guys want me to
And-
do otherwise.
What happened to our? Oh, John, fire department.
2 medical QRS calls, 2 service calls, 3 automatic fire alarms, 5 mutual aid, 1 structure fire. 15 total calls since last meeting.
All right, thank you. And the police report. We have one here. You wanna
No, it's
make a statement on that?
107 calls, if anybody wants to see them, I'm not gonna read all of them.
No, we're not gonna do this. Does anybody wanna see the calls? There's a list of them right there. Animal control officer report. You wanna read that to us, Scotty?
Yeah, 1 black lab returned to owner, 1 pit bull complaint, Steeple Avenue, 1 coon, Dutch Ridge Road, 1 black lab returned to owner.
Good.
Where'd the raccoon go?
Euthanized.
Yeah. Did you take care of that?
No, I didn't take care of it. I'd have dumped it out of my place. That way I could've run it this fall.
We didn't have a road report ready, so. But they've been busy, trying to catch up. They've been putting in a lot of new piping across the roads. I think we only got 1 or 2 left. Let's hope. The new business. We have to approve our MMO for our 2020 pension. Do we have to sign for that?
Yeah, you just have to make a motion. You just do an estimate of payroll for the end of this year, and then you have to calculate it that way for next year's
All right.
payment.
You wanna make a motion to that effect?
Yeah, I can make that motion. Accept the MMO 2020 pension.
Want a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So carried. Set a Halloween trick or treat night on to Thursday, October the 31st from 6 to 8. That's when the other local businesses and towns are having it, and we're gonna have it the same way. Make a motion to that effect. I have it on Thursday, October the 31st from 6 to 8. Want a second?
Second.
So, everyone in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So carried. American Water Agreement to add 2 hydrants. We need one at Frisco Street and Frisco Avenue and Francis Street. That's down in Frisco, and another one down below that in Nalco Way and Francis Street, the other end of Francis Street.
Was it already signed?
It was already signed.
So a motion to ratify
Yeah.
the entry into that agreement.
Okay. Make that motion. Second?
Second.
So carried. Secretary's report, what do you have for us, dear?
Well, we have a budget meeting immediately following, and then I was thinking about setting it to October 21st, our meeting. I didn't know if you wanted to have it before or after. I just have to advertise. What would be better? Do you want to do it before or after
Before or after what?
our regular meeting
What, the budget meeting, you mean?
for October as well?
Probably be hard to do it before.
You want to do after immediately, like?
I think, let's try it after,
Okay.
right afterward.
I'd schedule it for 6 o'clock, just so that there's a date certain,
Okay.
Yeah.
or time certain, excuse me.
Stormwater retention ponds and mobile home park inspections need scheduled. I'll have to get with Michael and or Scotty or yourself.
That's you guys, you
Whoever
take
wants to
that,
do it.
put your glasses on.
Whoever wants to do it, you know. If you want to do it,
No, sure job.
all right, we'll take care of that.
What was our decision on letting the equipment go out? Did we have a final on that? Can we borrow it? Can we borrow the township equipment? No.
No. I would say no. I'm just one of the members.
Well, yeah, I just wondering why an individual did take it home. Who authorized that?
Probably past references on it, that's probably all.
What?
A past practice.
I didn't think that was a practice in the township to
Well,
take equipment home.
I don't know. as
Did
if
you
we-
authorize it or not?
I don't know as if we've ever done it before.
Somebody authorized it, I would hope.
I would hope. But, and to be honest with you, I don't know whether I did or not. I couldn't honestly say.
Well, I think it's a bad judgment.
Well, we'll discontinue that
I mean,
practice.
that
If it was a
woodcutter
practice.
just got killed out of a bucket truck a couple years ago. It dropped too quick and flipped him out.
Well, we'll just stop it right now. And let it go at that.
Okay.
I will have to get with Mike and see when he might be able to do that mobile home inspection and stormwater retention ponds. We do them both at the same time.
We don't
Same
even have a
day.
mower anymore. It's all subbed out. The road guys don't mow grass, do they?
As far as
Like that lawn over there, that's been like that all summer.
you mean
Over there, yeah, right out
Mobile
front.
park?
Yeah.
No, we do. Our
Guys don't
road
cut.
crew do not do that.
Andy does it.
So then we'll pay him to go over and mow it.
Well,
That-
we'll get somebody. You know, we have got several different people before, And it doesn't matter who we get as far as that goes.
That does need condemned.
Well, yeah, and that's why I think it's probably worth sending, or as I said earlier.
Who would you send in there, Richardson for that?
Well, I think he already went out, now it's a matter of,
Yeah.
there was no response to the notices of violation, so when there's
Yeah,
no
them people,
response
yeah.
to a notice of violation, I mean, the immediate next step should be filing a citation or citations, depending on the number of notices with Judge Nicholson.
You probably never find those people anyhow. Who lived there?
Well, in part, I mean, it wouldn't just be the lot renters, but it would be the owner of the mobile home park as well.
Eh,
Yeah.
okay.
Did you guys
We'll
wanna
get him to do it.
You guys wanna send somebody out to mow then, or no? Or
No.
you want Richardson?
No, right now,
Yeah.
let's see if we can't get the,
If it costs $45, the question is the effect of going through and actually, I mean, we would have to file some type of municipal lien thereafter to get that money. I mean, you may never see it either, I mean, there might be more of
Some
a cost.
stuff you're just gonna have to do.
Well, that you're gonna eat, correct.
If you're gonna do that, there's one on Morningstar too.
Well, there's a bunch, I mean, I got a stack, that's the only problem, there's a bunch on Old Zealy, there's one on Morningstar, I mean, there's a whole bunch of people have been complaining about that nothing's getting done, I mean, they're getting cited.
Somebody, to your right.
But could it be condemned?
Isn't it like
I
a
mean-
safety?
Boy, to look at that trailer, I would say,
That's what I'm saying, so not even just the grass.
I-
The whole
Oh, no,
structure
yeah,
needs to
yeah.
be gone.
It's like a
I mean,
safety
it
issue.
is
He's
very.
got it up for sale. There's a couple looking to move in
With
yeah,
children.
really?
with
With
children.
children.
With a child.
Yeah, they live across
It's
the
like
street
4.
from us now.
Yeah.
That whole
You
place,
guys are on
we're on the other side.
you're
of
on the
that.
other side of the road looking at this. Oh,
We're-
Yeah, we're like directly across from it.
Yeah.
But the owner, the family lives there now, so
Yeah.
it's not hard to find the tenants.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah.
That's putting it.
I know, he was over today trying to find out some information, so, and he says
He doesn't know who lived there?
well, he knows who did live there, yeah, and he knows who was that owned it, whether they still own it or not or something, I don't know what he was trying to figure out. Maybe he was figuring all this out, probably in order to condemn it and get it
No.
tore down or whatever.
Because he came over and spoke to my husband and said that they're trying to get a hold of the person that owns it because the neighbors down the street that are living with the parents want to move in there.
Somebody's
Specifically
interested
said
in
it to
buying.
him.
Ooh.
So-
Yeah, that's what I
and
heard
they have
him say.
children. Yeah. And there's no way
From the
anybody.
sounds of things, I don't know why anybody would want to move in there, but I,
That is the standard of people who have
Yeah,
that.
and perhaps under that ordinance, I
Do you
don't.
want him to just inspect the whole park?
Yes.
Yes.
we could,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
That
The whole
would be
thing
Yeah,
is
since
the
that
whole
part,
thing.
inspection's coming up anyway.
Yeah.
so.
Just send Richardson out
Yeah.
too?
The whole thing has been there since the 60s. They have, they have always been a thorn in everybody's side on the other side, but now they're blatantly throwing it in your face. I've lived here for 42
Like, yeah, I
years,
grew up here.
and now I'm to the point where I'm just done.
Yeah.
It's, they're ridiculous back there.
oh, I know we can get the grass cut and stuff, I mean, let's,
And the drug
we're
dealer?
gonna go over and look at this,
Yeah, we'll
so
talk about that.
we'll find out.
And you want me to have Andy cut the grasses on all those ones?
No, I'm gonna try to get the owner over there to cut the grass.
He cuts around the fence that is like 6 little stakes that have to go up. He'll cut around it, but he won't cut in where the dog had been for a long time.
Now you need to take the boom mower over.
Well, and if you guys decide at some point to have the grass cut, you can do that independent of here. I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't need to do a motion, so I mean, if
We
it's
don't need a motion to do that. We already have the ordinance.
particularly looking at all those other ones too.
Yeah.
Jim's out with a boomer, he could have just swing by and hit that quick.
They went
It is
by
high.
several times, and I saw that and thought that
Well,
myself.
I think you'd wanna find out if there's stakes or something in it, that's what she was saying.
Yeah, but they could be
When you do
picked
your
up.
inspection, you're gonna want to.
That's what I said, let me go over and look at it and find out. We'll take care of it.
Thank you.
We'll get her whacked down,
All
one way or
right.
another, believe me.
Whack the hole.
And it wouldn't be the first time that yours truly didn't do this. for the township.
Well, I'll
And
go over, like,
didn't cost the township any money
I would
either.
go over and cut it too, but I'd rather,
Yeah, well, let's,
All things
let
going.
me look at that.
yeah, I don't need to be.
We'll get this taken care of, at least
Yeah.
the grass part of it, and then we'll work from there.
Gotcha.
I don't know. We need to take a short, pause there for a private meeting for us.
Executive session.
Executive session, yeah. So,
He wants to discuss a personnel matter.
I want to discuss a personnel matter. Can't do that in front.
So then why don't we take that at the end of the meeting?
Okay.
So if folks want to go.
Yeah, well,
you
the
know.
only thing we have to do is vote to pay the bills and then to adjourn.
Well, it's recess into the executive, and then we still need to adjourn afterwards,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
How about a vote to pay the bills? We can get that done now.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So carried. Now we'll have the executive session now and then we'll adjourn.
Do you want to do that in here, or do you want to step out?
Well, let's step out and unless everybody is done in here. Are you all done in here?